You're not allowed at my house. Don't come to my home.
I won't. Look how you act. To pay $1,000 a month for a child that I haven't seen in 5 years up until 3 months ago is outrageous.
We are here in a suit for modification of support order and to confirm support of marriage. If I could state the terms of a proposed order and then take testimony from the parties.
You may.
So firstly, Judge, the state is not suiting its request for any judgments to be taken on arrears as there are none currently owed. Mr. Penroy would be ordered to apply for or maintain the child on private health and private dental insurance, which is available to him through his employer. And then he would be ordered to pay a proposed guideline child support amount of $1,133 per month beginning December 1st. Court costs would be as billed to Mr. Penroy, and Ms. Wells is requesting a finding of non-disclosure. That's the extent of the order. If I may call the parties.
You may.
I'll call the father. Sir, would you please state your full name?
Barry Lance Fantroy.
And you are currently employed and carrying the child on the health and dental insurance through your employer, correct?
I am.
Okay. Now you have been working at this current job since late March, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay. And you have provided me with your most recent pay stub showing your year-to-date wages at that employer, correct?
That is correct.
And you understand that I've taken your year-to-date wages and averaged them out to a monthly amount to give the proposed guideline child support amount. Is that correct?
That isn't correct because last court hearing, I was told that you were going off of second quarter's earnings, and that if I told you that my hours changed, and you said that we would go off of third quarter's earnings. Since I presented the third quarter's earnings, and it's only 40 hours a week, as opposed to the 84 hours a week that I was working in the second quarter, I am only making $4,000 a month take home, as opposed to $8,500 plus per diem and everything else in the second quarter.
Mr.
Also,
Panda, my question is, do you understand that the proposed amount is based on your average wages since you began working at that employer? I'm only asking if you understand where the
I
proposed.
understand that now, but that wasn't the conversation the first time. But go ahead.
All right. So you are requesting that the court order something different than the proposed amount based on the fact that your hours have changed at your employer since you began working there. Is that correct?
That's absolutely correct.
Okay. When you began working there, how many hours a week were you working?
84 hours a week, plus I was getting $120 a day per diem because I was working as a traveler.
Okay. And when did that change?
That changed in late July.
Okay. And what were your hours changed to at that time?
I am now working 40 hours a week and have been since July.
Okay. How many?
And I'm not getting per diem.
How much are you paid per hour currently?
$38 an hour.
Okay. Is there the possibility that you would go back to working more hours than 40 hours per week?
There's absolutely not, because I've been in this industry for 8 years, and every year from November to January, there's little to no work. So I'm currently filing unemployment because I'm not at work. So I'm only realistically working 7 to 8 months out of the year in the industry that I'm in.
My question was, is it possible that you might travel again in the future with this employer?
There's no possibility for the rest of this quarter. No.
I'm not just asking.
Into next year, yes.
Okay. All right. Do you have any other source of income?
No.
Is there any other clarification you'd like to provide to the judge about why you're making this request for the child support to be lower?
As I mentioned, my second and third quarter earnings are different. I just started this employer in March, which would be half of the first quarter. Also, with that being said, again, I'm not making per diem. I'm not working 84 hours a week. I am currently not even working right now as of last week. With that being said, I've been going through this process for modifications for the last 10 years with Jessica. And this, over that time, of course, I was making a different hourly wage, but there was a reason that it's been denied for the last 10 years because of the wages and because of the pay. We're talking going from $30,000 and $40,000 a year to making 60 to 70 just this year. And now I don't have an income for the rest of the fourth quarter, right? So with that being said, $4,000 a month income, plus I have $5,200 worth of bills to pay $1,000 a month for a child that I haven't seen in 5 years up until 3 months ago is outrageous. On top of that, I, again, have not seen my child for 6 years, 5 years before that. I moved to Texas in order to get possession of or custody of my daughter, and I'm still not able to see her. And I live in close proximity of Mrs. Wells. It's extortion. I have to pay for visits, I have to pay for time, and these are cash payments, and that's crazy. But for me to be requested to pay $1,000 a month for my child, and I can't even afford to get an attorney to take Mrs. Wells to court to get custody of my daughter, that's crazy.
You know how much you're currently ordered to pay in child support each month?
Yeah, I am $98 a month, which I don't agree with, but $1,000 is crazy from 98.
I'll pass the witness, Judge.
Okay, you may call your next witness.
I will call Miss Wells. Ma'am, would you please state your full name?
Jessica Wells.
Did you hear the terms of the proposed order stated to the court?
Yes, sir.
You understand those terms?
Yes, sir.
And would you be in agreement with those terms being entered by the court today?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any personal knowledge as to Mr. Fauntleroy's income?
Yes.
How?
Just what he tells my child.
Anything else? Any other way that you have any knowledge about his
No,
income?
sir. Just word of mouth.
You are asking that the court make a finding of non-disclosure so that your address and other identifying information are not included in today's order. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. And I'm also asking that he give us the medical insurance card, please.
You already have it.
Has there been any family violence between you and Mr. Fauntleroy in the last 2 years?
In the last 2 years, no, but I would like to request that he does not have my address or phone number due to previous safety concerns in Nebraska.
Has Mr. Fauntleroy ever been arrested for domestic violence towards you or the child?
No, sir.
Then why is it that you have a safety concern and are making this request?
We have a previous history of threats, harassment, verbal, physical abuse. He's also stolen from me out of my home and my daughter. He's very verbally and abusive. I mean, you kind of get a preview of it now, how he's acting, but if you guys weren't around or if we was in the same room, he's extremely disrespectful. He's violent. He has been violent. The reason we're in Texas is to get away from him. He has moved here in an attempt to try to get around Nyla, and I have taken her to see him before, and he has stood her up. The second time I took her to see him.
Miss Wells, I'm only asking about the reason you don't want your address included.
Okay, for safety concerns, he's dangerous.
Okay.
And I fear for my safety if he knew where we lived.
All right. Now you are requesting that he provide you the documents needed for you to use the health insurance that he's carrying for the child. How would you propose that he provide those to you in the alternative?
I have provided him a P.O. box address. I can give that address again. I've asked that he mail the card to the P.O. box. I can show you what he has given my daughter, him and her text. So he has texted her something that.
No, ma'am, I'm just asking where he could send that information.
Okay, sorry.
All right, Judge, I'll pass the witness and ask for a ruling on the child support and the non-disclosure.
Miss Wells, when you say he's dangerous, what does that mean?
Okay.
What has he done since he's been in Texas that's dangerous?
Well, nothing, since he does not know where I live or does not have a way to contact me. But
okay, so when was the last time he did something dangerous?
2015, 16.
Okay, and what did he do then?
We got in a physical altercation. He put his hands on me and choked me in my home. Okay. And no, I did not call the police.
And were the police called?
No, no, ma'am.
And did you have to seek medical attention?
I did not. I just stayed away from him. He already does not help me raise her, support her. So it was very easy to just distance myself from him. He doesn't help with anything.
Well, you say he doesn't help with anything, but sounds to me like you don't want him around her. So when you say you took her to visit him, where did you take her to visit him?
Okay, so I have some text messages.
Ma'am, I didn't ask you about text messages. Where did you take her to visit him?
So they had agreed that she was to meet him at a hotel in Dallas on the weekend of June 8th. And this place was not close to me. It was about 40 minutes away. So we drove down there. When we got off the interstate, I said, hey, call your dad and your brother, let them know you're here. And at which time they answered the phone and said, oh, we're not there. We're at North Park. Come to North Park. North Park was on the whole other side of Dallas. They weren't where they just told her they were going to be after she told them she was on their way. And it's not that I don't want her around him. He does not have a consistent relationship with her. He currently has her blocked. She has tried to text him. He has her blocked since for the past month since coming to
Right, that okay, thank you. Um, how old is your daughter?
13.
Okay. So with a 13-year-old, you shouldn't have to have that much contact with her dad because she should be able to talk to him. If he comes to your house to pick her up, you should be able to send her out the door and she should get in the car with her dad and just go.
Correct.
Is she afraid of her dad?
No, I do not let her ride in the car with him because he's a gang member and he's been shot at in 2 states. And I refuse to let my daughter be around him for her safety. I don't want him getting shot at again and my child's in the car. And that's another reason he cannot come to my house. He's a gang member,
Okay.
and I don't want him bringing that.
Allegedly, he's a gang member.
Ma'am, it's
Did you know
documented.
that before you had a baby by him?
Unfortunately, I did.
Okay.
But Judge, I should probably clarify something here.
Yes.
This is a registration of an out-of-state order, and there is no visitation order for Mr. Fantroy in it. So I'm not,
Okay.
if that helps at all.
That does help.
And I should clarify, it doesn't say he doesn't have any visitation.
Yeah, I know you're saying it's just not a part of the child support order. Because in a lot of states, they don't put visitation in child support orders.
Correct.
Okay. Okay, Mr. Fantroy, unmute yourself for me, please, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
Now calmly tell me your response to what Ms. Wells has said about the non-disclosure.
This is real sad and it's unfortunate because I'm raising 4 little girls already, 3 that aren't mine biologically, 1 that is, which is her sister. The communication isn't there because my child doesn't have a phone, which I've offered to buy her a phone or put her on my plan, but she gives her a phone that has Wi-Fi and just she allows and picks and chooses when she allows us to talk to her. The moment that she's talking about, as far as if she's scared of me per se, then why would she permit my daughter to come stay with me? That's one. 2, that weekend was my birthday weekend, and we had a nice hotel, and I flew her brother into town so he could see her because he hasn't seen her. And I was going to take my daughter shopping at North Park, but her communication is so bad because she's so angry and such a manipulative liar that I
Hey,
wasn't
Mr.
able to.
Fontroy, can you just
Okay.
refrain
I'm sorry.
from
I'm sorry.
disparaging
But
remarks
yeah,
about Ms. Wells, sir?
I got you,
Thank
Judge. But that went bad. She cussed my daughter out because they didn't communicate until my daughter, as I mentioned, my daughter's phone is off. So she called again when she was in the car under Wi-Fi and was like, hey, where you at? I'm like, tell your mom to bring you to North Park, which was 15 minutes from the hotel. And she lives in Garland, which isn't far. So it's not 40 minutes. But she didn't bring her. So the next time I requested to see her, I did get to see her, and that was only for a night. She sent her with an Apple AirTag with a disconnected phone. And I haven't seen her since then. And that's the first time in the last 5 or 6 years. And prior to that, this incident she's referring to in 2015, I was living in Los Angeles. I actually paid full round trips for everything, and she made me pay her while she's saying I stole from her and stole from her house. She made me pay her to bring my daughter out there so I could take her to Universal Studios and to Disney World. And those are the memories that I have. But right now I'm trying to, yeah. So everything that she's saying is not
Now,
factual.
answer this question for me. You
Go
work
ahead,
in an
man.
industry that's cyclical. And so why shouldn't we average your child support over the period of time that we have?
Because this year is the most that I was paid, and it's because of the largest data center project in Texas, which is the Stargate program, and that's what I started at. That program has a revolving door, and I'm not there anymore. So this year I made $38 an hour. Last year I was at probably about $32 an hour. But with that being said, we're averaging a child support payment based off of 3 months of me doing the best that I've done in my
We're
38
averaging it
years of
off of
living.
6 months.
Okay, well, 6 months. But if you see the difference, 4 months of that was extreme money.
Okay.
The other half is not the same. So that's the only
Okay.
reason I'm asking. It's just not realistic.
Okay. Mr. Talley,
Yes,
is there anything else, sir?
nothing further from the state.
Okay. Then I will order that dad maintain private health and dental insurance through his employer. I will order child support at $1,133 per month, and the non-disclosure is denied. Anything else?
Hey, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
With that non-disclosure being denied, does that mean I could pick my daughter up? Or is she like, how does that go?
You don't have any visitation. You don't have a visitation schedule.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't have anything that sets out when you're supposed to see your daughter and when you're not.
Mm-hmm.
What you would need to do is file for this order to be modified and ask that visitation be addressed.
Appreciate that.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Are there any other questions?
That's it.
Ms. Wells?
Why are you disclosing my address and phone number to him if I've asked not to?
Just because you asked, you didn't give me anything that I thought that was some family violence supposedly that happened in 2015. We're 10 years down the road now.
He hasn't changed, and
Oh,
he
ma'am,
keeps
okay, I've made my ruling.
okay.
If you
Well,
don't
let me
like
just
it,
say
if
this.
you think it's not fair, or if you just don't agree, you
Okay,
have 3 days to appeal, 30 days to file a motion for new trial.
okay. You're not allowed at my house. Don't come to my home.
I won't. Look how you act.
You're a deadbeat.
Ma'am, that's not what we're going to do on this hearing. If there are no further questions,
All right, guys, this is where the father gets a chance to respond, and his frustration becomes obvious. He insists the accusations against him are exaggerated and misleading. According to him, he's actually raising 4 other girls, including one who is the half-sister of the child involved in this case. He claims the real problem is that the mother controls communication and only allows contact when she chooses. He even says he offered to buy his daughter a phone so they could talk regularly, but that offer was rejected. He also disputes the story about missing a visit in Dallas. From his perspective, it was simply a misunderstanding about meeting locations, not him abandoning the meeting. Throughout his statement, the judge repeatedly reminds him to stay calm and avoid attacking the mother personally. Now the judge shifts focus back to the core issue, money. The big question is whether child support should be calculated using the father's average earnings over the past several months, or whether the court should base it on his current reduced income. The father argues that this year's earnings were unusually high because of a massive data center project in Texas. According to him, that project has already ended, meaning the income level used to calculate support is no longer realistic. But the judge pushes back, explaining that the court typically averages earnings over time to create a fair support amount. From the court's perspective, using only the lowest earning months would also be misleading. In other words, the judge has to decide which version of the father's income truly reflects his financial reality. And finally, the judge delivers the ruling. After reviewing the testimony and financial records, the court orders the father to maintain private health and dental insurance for the child and sets the new child support payment at $1,133 per month, exactly the amount proposed by the state. The mother's request for non-disclosure, however, is denied. The judge explains that the claims of danger were too old and unsupported to justify hiding her address. But there's another twist. The judge also points out that there is no official visitation order in place. That means if the father wants guaranteed time with his daughter, he will have to file a separate case to establish visitation rights. The hearing ends with both parents still arguing, showing that despite the court's ruling, this family conflict is far from over.